Jim here. Gonna do a video for you on replacing the CRF fender and taillight assembly. You can see I've taken my tag off. I lost my tag light. Um, I've had this off for a while. This is just extra chunk of weight that you don't need. But you can see how big and bulky that is. I ripped off my license plate light the other day, so I ordered a replacement. Got it on eBay. And it is the BikeLitez. It's an LED light bar, and it comes with the fender assembly. It comes with all the mounting bolts, wiring connectors, and everything. So that is the light. That's where the tag goes, and they kind of go like that. So I'm not going to run continuous. This is what happens when you're bored on a hurricane night before the storm gets here on a Friday. So I will stop the video now and then cut back to it. You won't notice the difference though. The first thing I did was pull the seat off, pull these studs out of the white fender piece, just disconnect it, and that gives you access into the underside so you can remove the fender and the light assembly. Next step, what I'm doing is pulling these 4 bolts out, disconnect the wiring harness from there, and what that does is it allows you to work on the light and get to all the wiring and stuff on the inside down in there much easier. You can pull those apart. You don't have to work upside down. You can have a seat and enjoy yourself. So I'm going to get and pull that apart so I can get to where I need to splice the wires in for my new light. Something I want to show you is you have these 2 screws, and they mount this metal piece and the plastic all together, and they're kind of on some rubber pieces, and these are really tight to get out. I got one loose, but the other one's starting to strip the head, and so I'm not going to worry with it much. I just pulled the wires out and was looking, and really what I want to do is on this connector, I want to leave this connector to go into the factory, but I want to leave room just in case for whatever reason I need to reconnect the original back up. So I'm probably going to strip this back and cut it off about here. The replacement that I've got has a lot of wire, so I want to make sure that when I put this here, which you can see clearly, I'll have enough wire to go from here to there with that wiring kit. So I don't foresee any issues with that. So I'm just going to cut it and make it look good and give me plenty of room. Things they wanted you to do was to remove this inner fender from under here. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a pain. But it's mostly so you can get to these bolts underneath the nuts, because they give you screws to replace these with. I happen to have enough thread where I could get these a good grip and bolt it down tightly, so I didn't bother doing that. If you can't get enough thread to pull these nuts in tight, then you'll need to remove this fender so you can get a wrench in there and get on the nut. And this is what they give you. You can see they give you plenty of stuff to do it with. I didn't need to do it, so I chose not to. So now I'm going to do a test fit really quick with the white part of the fender, just to make sure everything looks right and lines right. Then I'll get the wiring done, and then I'll put it back together and show you. So I have it wired. I got it all nice and taped up and wound up. One of the things I do, and it's kind of hard to see, is I wired in resistors so my blinkers would work. I also put some heat shrink tubing on the wires just to help protect it when it goes under, and in case anything snags. Of course the fender is going to sit there, but I wanted to make sure that I did something because I'd prefer it. So there you can see what it looks like without the seat. I'm going to put the seat on here in just a minute. And then I'll show you. Let me do this. All right. There is the LED taillight. And then I now have blinkers working, so you can see the blinkers. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the brake lights for you because I don't have anybody out here helping me, and it's raining. So there you go. Here we are, slightly raining, but you can kind of see how it looks. Much cleaner. Tag lights down there. I mean, I would like it to, this to come down a little bit lower, and maybe I can find something to wedge in there. But I think it looks good. It's bright, that's for sure. Hello, CRF Jim here. I wanted to finish up real quick with final thoughts on the light assembly. I really like it. I think it would have been a little bit better, especially for the price, if they would have given standard bolts at the same size as what goes in the factory, and just longer, so you could mount the in-factory locations with the factory bolts. I just think that would have been better, and a little bit more adjustment on the mount, so you can move it forwards and backwards and side to side a little bit. I think that would have just made it a little bit easier. And then maybe a little bit heavier wiring. I mean, it's a LED, so it's not pulling lots of wiring, not lots of amperage or anything, and not like you need tons of heavy gauge wire there. But I just think maybe another up to like a 14 gauge or a 12 gauge, which met factory, I think might have been a little bit better. 10 gauge, yeah, 16 or 14 gauge probably, than what was on there. It was kind of thin, but I was able to make it work. I've got to say though, they gave you all the butt connectors you needed. They gave you zip ties to clean it up with. The wiring didn't quite match my bike, but it's easy if you got a voltmeter. It's easy enough to check, so you know which is which. And then the blinkers, it would have been nice if they would have color coordinated what was on the light. They give you 2 yellow wires. Now one was a darker yellow than the other one, but they don't tell you which one was left, which one's right. So anyway, that's my final thoughts. I paid $99 for it, free shipping on eBay. The BikeLitez website has them for a little bit more. They're shipped from Coco, where the company's at. So I guess I bought it directly from them, just their eBay account. I don't know. It is all plastic of some sort. It's very bright. It looks good. It fixed a couple issues I had. One, the bulkiness. 2, the weight. 3, the broke light. There's cheaper ones that eliminates it. It's not as thin as that. It's not a LED. Clarification on why I had to put resistors in is my front turn signals are already LED. And so when I put these on, there was no load. So it didn't have anything to flash on. So the resistors just put the load in there. I'm not worried about pulling too many amps or dropping my voltage pull off my charging system. That's not the intent of all this, so I didn't worry about putting in the special bought load optimizer things to fix it. It does flash a little fast, but it was flashing fast before. So there you have it. My installation of the BikeLitez LED fender eliminator for 2013 CRF250L. Have a good day and a blessed week.